Hi guys, today we are going to be making this card here, and it uses the Wishing You Well stamp set with this fun wheat branch flowery image, and we're also going to be using the buffalo check background stamp. And then we do have a little bit of our granny apple green textured weave ribbon to show off on the front of this card. So let me get my supplies and we'll get started. All right, I have a 2 3/4 by 4 inch piece of Very Vanilla, 2 7/8 by 4 1/8 layer of Cajun Craze. This is about a 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. This is going to be the one we're going to do the buffalo check on. This is 4 by 5 1/4, and then we have an 11 by 4 1/4 inch piece of our thick Very Vanilla that I've already scored at 5 1/2 inches. And we're just going to go ahead and fold that in half and burnish that with our bone folder. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is bring in the buffalo check stamp, and I just go ahead and leave it in my case. I don't feel the need to take it out. It works just fine, just leaving it in there. And I'm going to bring in my Calypso Coral ink pad, and I'm just going to do some pressing of ink on this. Get it all nice and inky. Okay, I think that's good. Sometimes I just go, you know, I think it has enough ink, but we're just going to go ahead and throw some more on there just because. All right, so I'm going to take my layer here and I'm going to just try to get it on there as evenly as I can all the way around. And then I'm just going to bring in one of my clear blocks and I'm just going to rub that cardstock so that it transfers the ink from the stamp onto the card. And then I'm just going to close or flip my paper over, and there I have my buffalo check. So now I'm going to trim this down just a little bit so that it lays on that. I wanted to make it extra large just in case some of the pattern didn't work out or something for me. So I'm going to trim that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I trimmed this down to like 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And so it should layer just right on this piece of Cajun Craze for us, which will then layer really nicely onto our main card here. Okay, so now we're going to do our stamping with this large image here. So I've got my crushed curry ink pad, and then I've got some Stampin' Write markers. I've got Granny Apple Green, Calypso Coral, and the Cajun Craze. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to ink up the top part of this image in the crushed curry, so kind of like the flowery top of the bouquet. And then I'm just going to bring in my Cajun Craze marker and just get these stems at the bottom here. Okay. And then I'm just going to stamp that not quite in the center, more towards the top of the piece, but not right at the top. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in my little sentiment here that says just a note. It's also in this little stamp set. And I'm just going to get this right down here on the bottom of the layer right there. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in, we've got this little floral stamp. Well, I went ahead and cut off one of those little flowers on the edge. So I have a single and then I have a group. And so for my group, I'm going to use my Stampin' Write markers and I'm going to ink some of these little flowers. So I've got these two little guys right here and this one. And this is my Cajun Craze Stampin' Write marker. Okay. I've got my Calypso Coral here. Get these two little guys. And this one up here. And then we'll bring in the Granny Apple Green. Get this one, and this one. I think I'm going to go ahead and do my Cajun on this last one up here. Okay, I'm going to huff on it, which just means breathe on it. And then I'm just going to end up stamping it right there on my other image. And so I'm going to take this little guy, and I'm just going to add a few extra flowers just anywhere I think it might be necessary. Then I'll bring in my Stampin' Chamois and then just kind of clean that off. And it'll be ready for our next color. So I think I'm going to go Calypso Coral, maybe right down here. And we'll just keep that chamois in here and we'll just clean that off. All right, where else do I need? I need a green one, I think. So, and you just kind of just add them wherever you think they need to be, which is kind of like a little bonus about cutting this little guy, I think. I think that's good. Put my chamois away, my stamps away, my markers, and then I'm going to go ahead and just layer this piece. I'll do a whole bunch of layering here. So we'll get this one layered onto our Cajun Craze, and this is just going to be a very slight border. Okay. Go ahead and add some glue to our buffalo check piece. Get that mounted on our Cajun Craze. Again, just a very slight border. And then we'll add this to the main card base. Get that in here. Try to center that as best we can. All right, and then this piece here, we're going to bring in some Stampin' Dimensionals, and we'll attach this piece with some dimensionals. As always, if you just kind of press your fingernail into the back of those little guys, it just kind of helps release that. And we'll go ahead and get that centered on the front. And the card is super cute just like that. And you could tie a bow with Granny Apple Green ribbon, which I would just make a couple of loops and then just tie that. But I thought really quickly, just right there off the top of my head, stamping off the cuff, what would happen if I actually just stamped this bow? Grab a block in some Granny Apple Green. And what if I fussy cut that out? How would that look? All right, here's a little scrap. So let's just get that inked up. This bow is really cool. It's really 3D since this is one of those a little bit distinctive, I think. All right, we'll get some scissors. I'm going to go ahead and speed the video up so that you don't have to sit here and watch me try to cut this out. I mean, not that it's super hard, but it's just a little time consuming, so we'll speed this up. All right, and we'll get this last little bit here. Okay. If we actually stuck a paper bow on there, I think that's really cute too. I think I'm going to go with the paper bow for this one. We did the ribbon bow for that one. Is that gonna? Yep, that'll work. I thought maybe these bows were just a little too small for that. We'll just pop this up just a little bit. Okay, about like that. So there we have it. Two basically the same cards, just a little bit different with the different bows. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Be sure to subscribe to my channel right down here, and it'll let you be notified when I upload new videos if you actually click on that little notification bell that's also down there. I would appreciate your business at shoppingwithbarb.com. I do offer free gifts with purchase every month. Thanks again for watching, and have a wonderful day.